Welcome back, folks. We're back again with another installment of Fandom Power. As always, it's myself here with Wes and Hank.
Hey,
rebelling against the galaxy. We're here tonight, and we're rounding out our breakdown of the Count Dooku arc from the Disney Plus series Tales of the Jedi.
It's been fantastic.
It has been.
Seems like only yesterday.
It does.
And the day before that.
But before we get too far into it, it's time, once again, for everyone's favorite exercise in hilarity.
Bad Star Wars jokes.
I love it every time.
This one comes from the corners of the interwebs. Why is Yoda such a good gardener?
Why is Yoda such a good gardener? I don't know. Why is Yoda such a good gardener?
Because he has a green thumb.
Oh,
of course he does. Of course he does. No wonder.
Yeah.
Oh,
makes you wonder what he's growing on Dagobah.
We call them bad Star Wars jokes, but again, like dad Star Wars jokes.
Star Wars jokes.
So yeah, this has been another installment of
Bad Star Wars jokes.
Wicked.
Nice. So on with our show here tonight. This one is titled The Sith Lord. It's the 4th episode of the series, but it's the 3rd in the arc of Count Dooku. And
did you guys find it weird not doing them like chronologically speaking, like not doing like the first Ahsoka episode, then like we just arbitrarily decided, hey, there's 3 of us, there's 3 episodes per character, let's do it that way? Does it feel weird?
Not really. Like it feels like a journey for Dooku first.
Yeah.
And then we'll focus on Ahsoka next.
Like understanding the the chronology almost doesn't work for what we're doing because it would be disjointed for the viewer. Like it'd be meta disjointed.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We've taken that one level of disjointedness and grouped them into
a little bit less. Yeah. It's
streamlined. But it's like we've refiled the system for the podcast by putting the Dooku episodes.
So the way that we're doing it actually feels a little bit more
fluid.
Okay, that's good.
I think so.
Okay, it was just more of a
and I also understand the choice of Filoni and company to do it chronologically on air. Suss out all the
I kind of wonder, like, I mean, for the hardcore fan, you guys know that there's a watch order list for Clone Wars now.
Yep.
Yes,
like it's an official one. Yes. I kind of wonder if there's room to slot these Tales of the Jedi episodes into the larger chronology.
The first 3 are even before the first episode.
Well, this is what I mean.
Before the movie, right? The first 3, half of it is before, for sure.
And I'm 100% sure there is some like hardcore fan out there who has already literally slotted it in as they're making their own viewable version.
Yeah.
It's like I need this scene here and this scene here and this scene.
Right. Like the like, Revenge of the Sith cut
that was intercut with the Order 66
season
episode.
7. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like that.
There's also a complete Order 66 out there, including video game cuts.
Ooh.
It's pretty good and dark.
But tonight, our director here is Saul Ruiz, so good hands there
once again.
And this one was written by Dave Filoni. So
the maker. No, wait, he's not the maker.
The caretaker.
The new master?
The caretaker.
The caretaker. That's actually a pretty good
I like it.
It's got a listed runtime of 18 minutes with credits and titles, or 14 minutes and 50 seconds without.
Does anybody watch them?
Sometimes.
We do for the purposes of the show.
Yeah.
And
now that there might be after credit scenes.
I was going to say,
Andor.
Unlike Andor, you can blame the Mandalorian on that. Season 2 of the Mandalorian was our first one. We got that teaser for the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, but you can go back and blame Marvel for the whole thing, or go back even farther and blame Masters of the Universe.
Oh, that's right. The Skeletor.
And I don't want to harp too much on this, but the Leia scene was meant to be an after credit scene for Rogue One, and they decided that was a Marvel thing, and we're not going to do it that way. But that was the original intent was to be an after credit scene for Rogue One.
Did Tony Gilroy read his own notes on that before making Andor?
Maybe.
Or is that the art department?
Could be. There you go.
They made that show.
They did.
They really did. We open our episode here on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple, and inside the Great Library, we find Jedi Master Dooku making his way through the stacks towards a small door. Punching in a code, he slips inside unnoticed. And take note here, it's a fairly bright depiction of the Jedi Temple.
It is.
It's like almost hopeful.
Yep.
There's a long shadow though, eh? Like
There
it's
is
not
a shadow being cast.
It's not like the first time we see it where it's like it's high noon.
Yeah.
No shadows.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the opposite shadow of the of my episode too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's coming in from the side. Cool, very cool.
Yeah. Once inside, he passes through some rows of databanks until he arrives at his destination. And once there, he punches in a code and accesses the file on Camino. He then punches in another code and erases the location of Camino from the Jedi archives, using what we find out are the access codes of Master Sifo-Dyas.
Sifo-Dyas.
He pauses a moment before exiting the archive.
Hey, remember when we asked if we thought that was going to be Sifo-Dyas in the casket?
I do remember that from the trailer breakdown.
Yeah. This is the first moment where I stood up and went, "Oh man, I always wanted to see that." Like we like
we assume.
Absolutely, we presume.
guessed.
You'd be silly not to, but now it's unequivocal. This was the first moment of all the episodes where I went, "Oh wow, okay, cool."
Yeah.
Yep. On his way out, he nods to another passing Jedi and takes note of 3 more Jedi engaged in a conversation at another table. They consist of an Arconan, a Twi'lek, which could be Hallan Krintu, and a Rodian, which could be Jedi Master Bola Rapol.
Oh wow.
Nice.
You did some homework.
I did. Hallan Krintu made his first appearance in the Fantasy Flight Games role-playing adventure Begun the Clone Wars Have, released back in 2019 at Gen Con. He was part of the Exploration Corps and eventually took Yigan Lam as a Padawan learner.
Oh wow.
The Explorer Corps was basically the archaeological and research division of the Jedi Order. So,
okay, that's
kind of
cool.
like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I like that. That's very cool.
Yeah. So it's, of course, I'm just like speculating because,
It's kind of what we do here.
Yeah.
Blue Twi'lek.
Blue
Walks
Twi'lek
like a
sitting
blue
there.
Twi'lek. Talks like a blue Twi'lek.
That's right.
Yeah. And then of course, one of the other guys at the table
We know it's not Uncle Gobi. So.
is probably not. But Bola Rapol made his first appearance simultaneously in Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the novelization, and the audiobook.
Oh wow. Okay.
He was keeper of the Kyber memory crystal, which contained the names of all the known Force-sensitive children in the galaxy.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah.
The kids.
He would later be taken prisoner by Cad Bane and tortured to reveal that information, but defiantly refusing, and it would lead to increased torture, which led to his death.
Yeah.
And that was in the second episode of season 2 of the Clone Wars.
So we got a season 2 connection in your episode.
Yep.
We had a season 3 connection in your episode, Hank. That the Raxus thing.
Yeah. But back to our tale here. Dooku, he approaches a gray-haired woman and asks, "What's causing all the excitement, Master Jocasta?" And she relays to him that it's his apprentice, Qui-Gon. He has encountered a Sith Lord and relayed this information to the Jedi High Council. And Dooku asks where it took place, and she says, "Tatooine, I think, deep in the Outer Rim."
I think that was it.
She then goes on to mention that Qui-Gon Jinn always had such an active imagination, as did Dooku. And almost lamenting, Dooku replies that it's a quality valued less and less in these great halls. And based on this, we can safely place this scene shortly after Qui-Gon has returned from Tatooine, after just meeting Anakin.
Bring Anakin back to
Yeah.
be tested. Yeah.
And he's delivering the news, or had just delivered the news to the council
Right.
back in the Phantom Menace. Master Jocasta, she's not a new character either. She was chief librarian of the Jedi Archives, and we met her back in episode 2, Attack of the Clones,
That is correct.
where she was played by Althea McGrath.
Okay.
She would also appear in the Clone Wars series, where she was voiced by Flo D. Ray, who returns in this episode to voice her again.
Nice.
The shot I have up on screen here, apparently it is very hard to come by a photo of her. This is a
Okay.
screen cap from the Golden Girls, where she played Gina.
Oh wow. So like this is going way
Well
Way
back.
back. Yeah.
Way
Well
back.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cut to another wing of the Jedi Temple, and we find Qui-Gon Jinn walking with Jedi Master Yaddle. As they pass by other Jedi, they're shooting glances his way, and Qui-Gon remarks,
I guess word travels fast.
but Yaddle states that his statements to the council were surprising. And as they wait by an elevator door, Dooku approaches them, having now heard his report to the council. He asks for first-hand details.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon tells him that the attacker was highly trained in the Jedi arts, and Dooku asks plainly if Qui-Gon believes he was a Sith Lord. And without hesitation, he responds, yes.
Yes.
But Dooku ponders that the council was not eager to validate that conclusion. And he responds, no, they were not. Dooku mentions that he's been telling the council of the coming darkness for years, never to be taken seriously. But Yaddle interjects, speaking on behalf of the council. She states there's no reason to cause undue alarm. And when Dooku asks if she doubts Qui-Gon's claim, she says she does not. But the wisdom of the council is to be cautious until they know more.
The wisdom of the council, yeah.
Yeah.
The same council that got everybody killed.
Hubris.
Dooku then says Yaddle is correct about one thing. A Sith Lord is nothing to be trifled with. And leaning in, he places his hand on Qui-Gon's shoulder and tells him he will not be there to protect him. But Qui-Gon tells Dooku, you need not worry. I will be all right, as Obi-Wan now fills that role. And Obi-Wan has acquitted himself quite well. Satisfied, Dooku says, that's good, and I would like to meet him one day, as Qui-Gon is always singing his praises.
Did we all do the, oh, you're gonna?
Yeah,
Did we all say that? Oh, it's gonna happen.
you'll meet him soon.
Qui-Gon always spoke highly of you.
That's right.
Yeah. That scene always amazes me that he's telling the pure truth to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The elevator door opens, and as Qui-Gon steps aboard, Dooku remains with Yaddle. The doors close, and looking up with concern, she asks Dooku,
Are you all right?
but like a parent, Dooku remarks, they grow up so fast, our students. And Yaddle replies, yes, that is the way of things. Dooku turns to her and replies, indeed, and that he must take his leave before leaving Yaddle by the elevator. A worried look crosses her face, and we're treated to this first of many striking visuals here, where Yaddle is walking towards the light and Dooku the dark.
Oh, that's an interesting contrast, isn't it?
It
Beautiful,
repeats
yeah.
throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Diverting here a moment, though. Liam Neeson has returned to voice Qui-Gon Jinn here.
Yes.
And Yaddle is voiced by actor, director, producer Bryce Dallas Howard, who is no stranger to the Star Wars universe.
Super cool.
It's cool to see Liam come back, and that's 2 Star Wars projects this year, by the way.
Yeah.
So happy to see him come back.
Nice to see him back in the role again.
And Bryce, that was a really unexpected casting choice, if you ask me. I had no idea. Now, is that say Dave Filoni's way of saying thank you to some of the directors that have worked on other projects?
Maybe.
Like, hey, do you want to
Right place in the right time too?
Yeah, like,
or maybe she's just been like, I like it. I want to do more.
It could be that simple. Sure.
Harrison Ford is a carpenter on the set. I need you to read some lines for me, bro. Like,
yeah, really.
Yep. We finally get our episode logo and title, and this leads us forward to another time jump. And we see then we are back on Coruscant again, but this time the dark skies have overtaken the temple, and only a small section of light is still shining through. Inside, we find Dooku standing in front of a wide twisting tree, and as he stands alone, Master Yaddle approaches from behind, and with a look of sorrow on her face, she looks down on him, but he senses her presence, and he tells her that he used to bring Qui-Gon here when he was a boy. Having been born on Coruscant, a planet of steel and stone, he'd never seen anything like it. And Yaddle tells him that the council is preparing to leave, as the funeral will be held on Naboo.
Not lost on me that the tree is losing leaves as they're talking.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh,
The literal fall, if you will.
yeah. It also speaks to the death of Qui-Gon itself.
Yeah.
And the tree, symbolically, it's not. I mean, maybe it's dying. I don't know. But the loss of leaves sort of dramatically sort of mirrors that.
Yeah, it's the cycle of life, really, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But Dooku, he tells her that he wouldn't be pleasant company, and she asks if he holds the council accountable for Qui-Gon's fate. But he turns and replies that Qui-Gon is gone with the Force now. It's time to let him go. And with that, he strides up the stairs past her, but she asks, "And you can do this?" Dooku pauses a moment, and coldly he replies,
What choice have I?
hands behind his back. He strides away, leaving Yaddle in the courtyard. Later on, we will find him in a hangar, moving towards a ship as an R4 model droid and a protocol droid about their business. And I'm thinking this might be a reuse of the droids we saw in the first Dooku episode.
It very well could be. The animation assets would obviously be reused, but it's cool that it mirrors the R2 3PO,
the dynamic
Yeah.
without going there. As the hangar door opens, a launch pad slides out and Dooku boards a DC-0052 speeder and lifts off, heading out towards a tall cluster of buildings.
We get the same. So, like, it's not lost on me that we're getting the same musical cues that we got in Revenge of the Sith. Like, this is the same music that sort of played the overtones of when Anakin rushed to the Senate to the Senate to intervene on behalf of Palpatine.
Yep.
The same takes the same car.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, moments later, a second ship follows out, but
Yeah.
let's dial in on that ship for a second.
Oh, sure.
The DC-0052 speeder, which made its first appearance
there we go.
in
Sorry.
Revenge of the Sith.
Sorry, I got ahead of you there.
It was part of a fleet of 16 that they were maintained by the Jedi High Council, and they used them as personal transport all over the galactic capital. This ship would also appear multiple times in the Clone Wars series.
Yeah.
But in that second ship, we find that it's Yaddle at the controls, and she follows Dooku at a distance as he crosses the cityscape. Eventually, he comes to a seemingly abandoned section of the planet with buildings in various state of neglect. A long door opens like a sharp-toothed smile as Dooku's speeder enters. Yaddle lands her ship on the walkway above. Glancing down, she sees the cockpit of Dooku's ship open, and she quickly powers hers down to avoid detection. Leaping from her ship, she hurries forward towards that door.
Now, are we saying that this is the same building when Dooku takes the plans to the Death Star? I will take these to my master on Coruscant.
100%.
Yeah.
This would be like his meeting place to go meet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside, Dooku approaches a hooded figure, and we recognize this as Darth Sidious, who is being voiced by Ian McDiarmid. So another returning cast member.
Nice to see some of the originals come back.
Dooku tells Sidious he's gone too far, but playing coy, Sidious replies,
I don't know what you mean.
and Dooku snaps at him, "Qui-Gon Jinn, you allowed Maul to kill him." But Sidious shoots back, "You lost an apprentice, and so did I, all in the service of our greater goals." Sidious walks further into the shadowy hangar, and Dooku follows, and we see Yaddle peering from behind a ship.
There's a line here where Sidious says, "You lost an apprentice, and so did I."
Yep.
Does that insinuate that he's not Darth Tyrannus yet?
No, he is not.
Right. No. No, he's
I
not.
would state that we're going to see that momentarily, but
This is what I was getting at in the last episode when I'd said, Hank, that I wanted to see more of this. How did they get connected? Because now it's just, we know they're connected. So that question is still looming. Like, well, how did they get connected?
yeah. But Sidious continues, the galaxy will not be remade without sacrifice. But Dooku contests that Qui-Gon could have been a powerful ally.
A powerful ally.
Another legacy line, right? But Sidious retorts, "For you, perhaps." And Dooku asks if Sidious questions his loyalty. And he bluntly tells Dooku, "Always."
I like that.
Yeah. So,
I actually quite enjoyed that. Yep.
yeah.
It's kind of what I do.
But Dooku relays that he's done everything that's been asked. And Sidious says he'll ask him to do more if they're to succeed. And then lamenting Dooku, he says, "Sifo-Dyas, Kamino, the clones, I have betrayed everyone and everything I know." But as Yaddle listens in from behind the ship, Sidious tells him, "No, you have been loyal to a greater cause." But turning away from Sidious, Dooku questions how many have died as a result of his actions. And Sidious tells him, "Such is the price of freedom." And having heard enough, Yaddle steps out and says, "No, this ends here, Sith Lord."
Kind of reminiscent of what Mace said when they went to arrest him.
A little bit, yeah.
This ends now.
But Sidious ponders, so I have been betrayed. But Dooku says no, and he steps forward, placing himself between Yaddle and the Sith Lord. Again, we're treated to that representation of Yaddle on the light side, Dooku
Sidious.
on the dark,
Yeah.
and him watching. And Yaddle implores Dooku to side with her. Whatever his crimes were, he can still make the right choice now. But Dooku, he questions, you heard?
You know.
Yeah.
And Yaddle tells him it doesn't matter. But like that devilish side of his conscience, Sidious tells him not to believe her.
Yeah.
And Yaddle continues, whatever lies he's told you, whatever you have done, you can make up for it now by bringing him to justice. But again, that devil on his shoulder speaks, telling him to remember what he told Sidious.
Yeah.
How the Jedi blindly serve the corrupt Senate fails the Republic it represents. And Yaddle looks down as she contemplates this, like she's contemplating his mindset, right?
I'm watching this and I'm listening to the line and I'm thinking, you know, in the internal monologue in Sidious's head right now is
More than likely.
you know what I mean? Like he's just talked about his own, like, it's me, haha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Sidious, he then lays it all out. You want to prove your loyalty? Kill her. And looking from Sidious to Yaddle, she makes one last plea, telling him there is still a chance to make things right. But Dooku tells her he's afraid. And she says, I know you are. But his choice made, Dooku gravely states, I'm afraid it is too late. And with that, he ignites his saber. And Yaddle says, no.
This is one thing that I mean, this is a big one in the sense that what's about to happen next is an outright retconning of the previous recounting of what happened to Yaddle. But one thing that does remain the same is that her giving up her seat on the council because she agreed with him.
Yeah,
she actually. So no surprise that they use her. She was his best chance at redemption.
I'm going to say it's not an out and out retconning.
You don't think so?
We'll get to that at the end, though.
Sure.
But,
and that actually occurred pre-Disney, so complete legends.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that just it's a depending on you know,
it's a different
what you're
tello.
familiar with. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But as she says no, Dooku, he charges forward, and Yaddle ignites her blade, and the two trade strikes. She blocks his attack as she backs forward towards that hangar door. Dodging, she leaps away as Sidious watches on, and leaping off the side of the ship, she attacks and then disappears again. Dooku listens and begins to search. Yaddle's voice echoes through the hangar. I am on your side, Dooku. I stepped down from my position on the council. You were right about so many things. The council should have listened.
Qui-Gon did not have to die.
And with that, Dooku pauses a moment before he force pushes the shuttle out of the way, revealing her position. He rushes forward, striking downward again and again, and Yaddle continues blocking and retreating before finally flipping backwards to the serrated hangar door. She looks to her ship and then back to Dooku, who continues to advance. And Dooku asks if she's running back to her council. But Yaddle retorts, it is you who is run.
It was a pretty sinister delivery too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she retorts, it is you who has run Dooku into the arms of evil. And they continue to duel, trading saber strikes, but Dooku knocks her back, gaining a momentary advantage, and uses the Force to release the hangar door, and it crashes down on top of Yaddle.
This, as grim as it is, I had for a brief second, I'm like, if I was Sidious and I was watching this play out, I'd be like, whoop, and I would have maybe dropped the door myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know it doesn't lend itself dramatically to what to Dooku's story, but it's like, if you want to just get rid of her, oh, they're fighting each other. They won't notice when I do this.
I think that's the point is that he could just get rid of her.
Yes.
But this is a rite of passage for Tyrannus.
Yeah, I would say this almost mirrors the same thing on the ship when Anakin finishes Dooku off. Sure, he could get out of his binding and do what he needs to do, but he's forcing Dooku's hand here, right?
Well, I mean, it solidifies
He's
the.
pushed him so far to the edge. Now it's just a matter of waiting to see if he'll cross.
Now I've got the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sidious, he steps forward, telling a winded Dooku, "You have done well, my apprentice."
Rise, my friend.
And Dooku calls him master.
Yeah.
But suddenly the bay door opens and Sidious cowers from the beams of sunlight streaming through. Yaddle stands, pushing the door upwards with the force. She grits her teeth and shakes and falls forward into the hangar as the door crashes back down behind her. She tries to get up, but falls back down again, and Dooku walks towards her, and again, she tries to get up. He tells her all he wanted was to bring peace and order to the galaxy. But she fires back at him, "Already so many have suffered for what you call order." And coldly he says,
Let me give you peace, Master Yaddle.
and as his blade ignites, illuminating her face, he raises it and strikes down, killing Yaddle. Retracting his saber, he looks down at the fallen Jedi with a hint of remorse, and this action is basically cementing his turn to the dark side.
Yeah.
While behind him, Sidious looks on with a triumphant smile. We fade to black, and the episode ends.
You got a new Timmy.
He does.
Yeah.
But I equate the look on his face there
Oh, yeah.
to the same one Anakin has after he kills Dooku. Like,
What
what have I
done?
done?
What have I done? What have I done?
Yeah, like he has
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
slain one of his allies.
Yeah.
But
That is the catchphrase of every new Sith. I probably. What have I done?
What have I done?
Yeah.
you know,
Maybe.
What have I done?
but this officially settles the debate on Yaddle's death.
Sure.
It was originally portrayed in Legends in the 2003 Scholastic novel Jedi Quest: The Shadow Trap, written by Jude Watson, set 26 BBY. This is the 6th book in the series, and it tells the tales of Obi-Wan and Anakin. And in this particular one, along with Yaddle, they're sent to a planet, Mawan, and they're trying to restore peace to the lawless planet. And Yaddle would sacrifice her life by using the Force to absorb a bioweapon released by Granta Omega.
Right.
And in doing so, she saved the city of Natan. She was 483 years old at the time of that death.
Yeah.
But since she never appeared in the Clone Wars and
In the series, you mean?
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she didn't appear. All she appeared in was the Phantom Menace,
That's correct.
and then referenced later on.
Yeah, she was a council member in the
Yeah.
Phantom Menace. Yeah.
So
So her absence is explained no matter which way you look at it.
whichever way you look at it,
Yeah.
this is just the official.
That's
canon
an interesting way of looking at that too,
one.
right?
Like, if like this took place in the Legends era, so they didn't
Sure.
have to accept it.
no.
Either way, she's now
She's
got her final
she's gone.
ending. Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah.
Do we need to comment on her speech?
We can.
So this has been a thing, right, with amongst the fandom about does this answer the question about Yoda's bizarre dialect?
I read something somewhere that her speaking this way,
Yeah.
and Yoda speaking the way he does, is only because that is the way his master taught him.
I think I read the same thing or something similar. Do you have a thought on that, Hank?
Well, just, he's much older, twice as old, and perhaps, they don't really get into it in the High Republic, but he's already 300 there. So
Yeah.
perhaps at some point, maybe that was common speaking patterns.
Maybe.
Like things evolve over 500 years.
Of course they do.
Like look at English 500 years ago. F's were S's and stuff,
Right.
right. So
We might
ye
be
merry gentlemen.
We might be on the verge of getting it though, right? Because like we haven't
Sure.
exactly found out when that species starts vocalizing.
We don't know. Yeah,
And
right. I mean, with
When we finally
with
hear Grogu's
Grogu,
first word, is he going to sound like Din Djarin?
that's a very interesting. Well, nature versus nurture, right?
Yeah.
And that whole thing. Do you want to touch on that while we're on the subject?
Sure.
Are we going to go so far as to suggest the parentage of little Grogu?
I'm not.
I'm not ready to.
100%.
I'm not ready to throw into that camp either.
No.
But there's a segment of the fandom that
says Yaddle had a thing.
Sure, that it's Yoda and Yaddle's progeny.
She had a thing for older men.
I said this a long time ago.
Older men.
Maybe the first time we did a podcast involving Grogu, like when we didn't know what to call him, but Baby Yoda.
Yep.
And I am still firmly in the camp that he's a clone.
That is the
I mean, I know he's
major...
I know he's his own being and stuff, but I'm still still firmly in the camp that the good guys were tinkering with the same thing the bad guys were.
That's entirely possible too, right? Yeah. Okay. It was more of a curiosity question than anything else.
Something that could be revealed down the road.
Yeah. Which we will cover in another episode.
Yes, we will.
When we get to it.
But that's all I got for this one.
Oh, well, it was good.
So,
I mean, the whole breaking down into 2 separate arcs, I think we did the right thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
This arc, like, you're basically watching him fall. Each episode, he's on that
deeper
edge and falling
Yeah.
farther.
As we go back and we look at all 3 episodes as sort of now the complete arc. I mean, I know I just said I would like to see more of the relationship between him and Sidious and how they got connected, but do we feel like it was a satisfying ride with these 3 episodes?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely
there were pieces of the
more
story.
for the character.
Yeah, exactly. Pieces of the story that I didn't know I need told, and that's always fun as hell.
Yeah.
To get new, actually not new information, but
new perspective.
Right. Yeah. Information painted differently is always, and that's becoming a hallmark of the new Star Wars, which is sort of like from a certain point of view.
Right.
Like literally we're getting new light shone on old things that completely reinterpret your version of how we grew up with things, which is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and I know we get a chance to do this one more time. Well, 3 more times, because we're going to come back and we're going to do the Ahsoka arc, or maybe we've already done it, depending on when you're catching these episodes. Either way, we will be back as we do have more to cover, and as we've mentioned before, the Mandalorian's coming back in the new year. Yeah.
And if you haven't done it yet, folks, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Go and subscribe the page and find that video, the contest video for the drive to 200 now.
Yeah, the 100 subscriber giveaway.
I know where he is.
The first tier is unlocked.
I've got my clone here.
The clone trooper tier is unlocked.
Yeah, so this officially is up for grabs to one lucky subscriber. When you subscribe to the channel and comment on the 100 subscriber video. If we get to 200 subscribers by December 31st, that General Grievous Black Series action figure is also going to be up for grabs. Ideally, what I'd like to do is I would like to do it as a live video. We will definitely do it as a video. It'll be 100% transparent, so everybody who qualifies based on the criteria that is in the 100 subscriber video, we will have all of that for you plainly on screen for everyone to see, and we will give it away in a video in a draw.
Yeah. And if you're already subscribed, you're already halfway there. Just go
That's right.
and comment on the video.
All
Go
you
to the
have to
video.
do, your comment can be X.
Exactly. Hey, speaking of comments, guys, if you do like what we do, even if you don't like what we're doing, please leave a thumbs up on this video and tell YouTube that it's that it matters, so that we can help boost that algorithm, so that our stuff comes up a little bit more frequently as recommended content for people who do like this kind of stuff.
Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your kids, tell your grandkids. We do bar mitzvahs and weddings.
Tell all of your burner accounts too.
Yeah. When you're visiting your grandparents, go grab their tablets.
Yeah, or set up an account for them.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, shameless promotion.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it then.
I think that covers it for tonight.
All right. Well, listen, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. And do catch us on the next one, because we'll be back soon with another video. So catch you then. Bye for now, everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Fandom Power. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll be talking about another one of your favorite fandoms. Fandom Power is a Sawcast production.
Is this where you gotta do?
I think so. We're good.
That's my sort of window. Window. I can't say window. I say
Mace
window.
flew out the window.
Your window of opportunity.
Your window of opportunity.
That's nice.